Hi, everyone.
Hello,
Good afternoon.
Chuck. Chuck thought he
Chuck?
was first. Actual first, Jade.
Oh, dang. To be outdone by the
Outdone
Jade?
by your spouse.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if it had to be somebody, it's probably best that it was Jade.
Yeah. Paint liquor. Hello, sarcastic grandpa. Panic bomb.
What's
Ogren,
up,
Flapjack,
everybody?
Nickelsack. Ogren, we just found out today that you know Kenny.
Okren knows Kenny?
Yeah.
Really?
Our Kenny, not Kenny, and not next. I mean, she might know next level painting too.
But,
But our Kenny.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like good friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Why didn't we know this until now?
I don't know.
Where's Kenny?
Well, he's working right now.
Oh, yeah. That'd be funny. Well, welcome. Hello. I hope you all have had a wonderful Tuesday night and Wednesday day so far. Hope the universe is treating you all right. Not
You
putting
recommended him for the job, or you told him that he should apply for a job? I'm not. Chuck, the weather at the end of February is beautiful.
Oh, Chuck and Jade. I saw somebody riding a bike yesterday.
People ride bikes here. Oh, you
During the
should apply.
summer.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
So let it be known, people do ride bikes during the summer here
Yes, they do.
without
People
dying.
run. People hike. People who are outdoorsy will make the sacrifices. They do it. They suck it up. Lumberjack Tim, you want to subscribe again to get rid of the ad in the beginning, but you're not a liar.
What?
I don't understand that. You have Prime? You get a free sub with your Prime.
There you go.
The Noir, hello. Zombie. Squad Tomato.
We got the whole
Hello,
gang.
everyone.
The gang's back together.
You don't want to go outside right now, not because of the weather, but because of the air quality from the wildfires. So let me tell you, we walked out of lunch, like we went to lunch, everything seemed fine. We walked out of lunch, and it was all hazy.
Uh-oh.
Like it's weirdly hazy outside right now. It looks like there's a smoke, or potentially like a bunch of dust, but it's not windy. So it's very odd.
That's not
Yeah, it was
concerning
really,
at all.
It was really strange. None of us could really figure out. We thought maybe that there was like a small fire or something in the neighborhood by the restaurant. But then as we drove, like all the way down Central, it's just hazy. Very strange.
There's probably wildfires happening somewhere close, I imagine. I imagine so.
You can't have the liar tag ruining your good reputation. Well, the liar tag is only, isn't it only after a certain amount
it's a year.
of subs?
No,
Or is
it's
it
a
all
year.
Subs
You get the liar tag after you've been subbed for a year.
for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, you got time then. Josh South just ordered your mega paint set. Thank you.
Ooh, nice.
Can't wait to get it and get to painting. Up with the amazing work. Well, we appreciate that. Hey?
Keep up with the amazing awesomeness of being a community member. Don't forget, you guys also deserve praise for being
Yeah.
so cool.
Hey Schmidt, hello. Did a trip to California fall through and are looking at other destination options for a cycling trip? Arizona in February would be perfect for that.
Yeah. Or just Arizona all the time.
Well, I think we've determined that that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I know.
Kenny's your D&D twin. You've been playing at the same table for more than 7 years. Yeah, we found out today that Kenny's been really into, like he was
A DM.
yes, but he said that he also was like a certified trainer or something for Wizards of the Coast. Is that related to?
I know virtually nothing about D&D.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one sphere of nerddom that I have not partaken
wow.
of very much.
Big man in the sky is vaping, maybe. Nick Pie flashes Baby J the Monument Gang sign.
What?
What's the Monument Gang sign?
I don't know. I did not create this, Jen.
Like it's an M.
Uh-huh.
Monument.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gang sign is just a hand sign.
I'm aware of this. I'm just surprised that you're making it happen.
There are DM service companies out there. Yeah, I don't know. He said something about that he was certified, but he also, he said he did like trainings, or he was like a certified person that could train. I don't know.
My guess
also is very unfamiliar to me, so I could be saying all of this wrong.
It could be like being a community champion of the product, right? Like press gangers for War Machine back in the day, where they were just like community members that were very well versed and given some amount of like weird, not weird sort of authority, but like were given sort of some amount of respect by the company in that they knew what they were doing and that they were a good go-to to be like community leaders, and that gave them clout within their communities to be able to offer things like teaching and that sort of thing.
2 years for the liar tale.
2 years? Sounds like a liar's lying.
After hearing Jason narrate his wild chicken, eagle, hippo fight, I'm betting he'd be an amazing DM. We were talking about RPG stuff today, and he actually said, yeah, he's not great at them.
He's not great at DMing?
No, not great at RPG.
Oh yeah.
Wizards of the Coast certifies all dungeon masters to their event partners now. For the most part, lots of moving pieces with the newish edition. So you started this yesterday?
I did.
That's right, I was not.
That is correct.
Oh.
We had a Shelby here yesterday.
League. Okay. I thought it was all that you only typed. How much I don't know about this.
Okay, I probably know about as much as you do, to be honest. I never got into D&D. I think it was a thing that I tried out very young, and it just, didn't catch for me. Just using orange to add some vibrancy here. Might go back and glaze this all back down here afterwards, but...
Are you painting this in the same colors as the card? Very cool. I like the thing right here.
On the chest?
Star thing?
Yeah. The glowy thing you can still on there.
You're gonna paint that on there, I assume?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. It's I should not have put the arms on.
Oh.
Because it does make it
you're gonna have to
infinitely more complicated to reach all that. But we'll figure it out.
So they needed to be. This came in pieces. It was not just one.
It was 3 pieces.
Okay. The body and the
body, legs were all one piece.
Mm-hmm.
These arms each were separate, and then
Okay.
the base was separate, so technically 4.
4. Going hiking with Janet for her to get vines to make baskets. That sounds cool. We went hiking. I wouldn't call it a hike. It was a walk.
We went walking.
And we were going to make like a craft project. We were going to make these dream catcher things. And so we all picked up sticks to use to hang them. So I got really cool sticks, like stuff. Vision Ring said those glowy bits look super easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Chicken, that glowy thing is going to be tough to freehand considering that you're going to be threading the needle to begin with.
Well, it does have recessed detail.
It does?
It does.
Oh. Well,
but it's, well, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You still have
a little bit, maybe.
Very limited space to get in there. Vector, hello. No painting again, done building, priming and airbrush, zenithal, etc. My gang feels so good. Good.
Nice.
Take a risk. Pull off the arms.
No.
That's paint liquor.
We're not doing that one. Sorry, guys.
No, that was actually Grant, not Jason.
What did Grant do this time?
No. Mo said he thought he heard Jason.
Oh.
But I'm pretty sure it was Grant. Source, aloha to you. Could you noosh with white to get the recesses to pop, or is there a smarter way?
No, the noosh is actually straight up the plan that we're going to be going for.
There you go. You thought it was loud Jason too? I did it first. Or not. Source, thank you for the prime sub.
Thanks, Source. Hello, good morning.
Source being all formal.
Source is being formal?
Yeah.
What?
Wad Tomato said hello, and Source said hello, Mr. Tomato N.
Oh. So I'm kind of blocking out where some of these highlights are going to be on the armor.
Please, Mr. Tomato N is my father. So someone's got to try to remember how to speak properly. Lord knows the youth ain't. Actual question, is Age of Hunger getting a retail release? The international shipping has me hesitant to pull the trigger on the site, but I'm not seeing anything from distributors or retailer pre-orders. It's already available to them.
Yep, you gotta
ask your store.
Yeah, ask your local store to bring it in. Then they'll ask the distributors to have it, and then the distributors
we'll
go.
send it. Yeah, they'll
"We need
order
to
it
get
from
some."
us, and then we'll send it to them, and then the whole thing goes backwards.
Process.
Well, you got to remember that there's definitely no problem with Canadian distribution. Our distributor there is amazing, but things take a little longer because it is international. They're making much larger orders than just a standard FLGS, so it is just a little bit longer of a process. You speak Pennsylvanian, specifically from the southeast corner. Schmid, mathematically, it would seem so, right?
What seems so?
I did not know that either. I had to ask. I'm like, wait a minute. Was this intentional? Said it was intentional.
Hello.
So
Hi.
sometimes I don't know all the things.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Ish.
Bad morning. Good afternoon.
No, it's not bad.
Oh, I didn't...
Busy, jam-packed morning.
Busy day.
Yeah. There is that.
I'll have like 20 things I have to do today.
Dirt King. I am not the Dirt King. What's up, Paint Liquor?
Oh man, Dirt King.
What's up, Mo?
What a silly.
Hi, Dad.
What a silly thing. So what you gonna paint?
Tim, what's happening? What's happening? I have no idea. I'm getting to the point where I'm running a little out of steam on him. So I need to find a way to breathe some life back into my fun of this model.
Let's take a little bit of a break. Come back to it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
You got the Kamar Jin over there.
Hey Kerwin, hello. Not the Dirt King, maybe, but is Jason the dirt man that we all keep a little dirt under our pillow for?
What?
I've never heard of this.
If you're leaving dirt under your pillow,
Clearly
that's
I'm
a
doing
weird gig.
something wrong.
That's kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Like the Dirt Fairy.
The Dirt Fairy.
Still haven't printed a
I am not the
Bumblebee?
Dirt
No.
Fairy.
I believe so.
I refuse that title.
What, Dirt King?
Are you gonna paint something plaid for the?
What's that?
Are you gonna paint something plaid for the September challenge?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about painting plaid on his waistcloth.
I mean, on this one. I just meant in general. So you know, Fuse doesn't watch TikTok, or does not. He does see them though, like 3 weeks later on Reels.
Are they that delayed?
I don't know. That's just always been the joke.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
That you see all the TikToks, you just see them a couple weeks later, but because it takes that long for them to get to Reels.
So what? What did she say?
Reels on Instagram.
I'm like, these are words that I
Reels.
don't. You're just making stuff up. I'm like, it's called Instagram.
Did you know TikTok is a thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know it's a thing the kids do.
It is a thing that kids do. Some adults do it too.
Actually, I don't see any kids doing it. Thank God.
Though there are certainly adults that do it too.
You know, it's all adults that I see,
Adults.
and they should all be
Not one
fired.
of them.
They should all be.
They should all be fired.
All right. This is the second
You
time
fired
today we've
Jen.
talked about this, so I'm taking you up on it.
What?
Have a good time, everyone.
What?
I just got fired.
Who's fired?
You fired her.
Who did?
You did.
No, I said all the people making them should be fired.
Watching.
I did not.
We were talking about watching them.
No, he was talking about people that do it.
No, I was talking about people that were doing
I quit.
it.
I
Well,
quit.
I quit.
Looks like Jordan's doing the stream solo today. Everyone's leaving.
Awkwardest Panda, thank you for the raid. We're
Jen got
confused.
fired. Jason quit.
Jordan's still here doing stream.
Jordan's holding it down.
All right, chat. I'm here for you. At least for right now. Who knows when you guys start doing scary, devilish things again?
Devilish things?
Oh, they always.
Who's doing scary, devilish things?
Have you met Chat?
I mean, this is true. This is true.
Fisher Family Paint Shop plus Jordan. Look, they're on board with this. We're not needed at all.
Well, hold on. You both are always needed.
If Jason fires Jen, who pays you people? Oh, I can't fire her. She fires herself.
Earlier today, you told me I was fired for something.
Dang.
What's going on, Awkwardish? Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Hello.
Happy Wednesday afternoon.
Hello.
Models,
It's hump day,
hello.
folks.
Hello.
We've officially made it halfway through the week.
Is it really? That's
Honestly,
so...
it feels like a Thursday. Shelby and I were talking yesterday, and we were like, today kind of feels like a Wednesday. And then today now just feels like a Thursday. It's very weird.
Did you guys see this over here?
Yes.
Okay. This just caught my eye.
Oh my. Ah!
What's that?
Ah!
This follow from yesterday just caught my eye.
Wow. We've got some creative names on the Twitch. That's pretty crazy.
I just kind of looked over. I'm like, oh.
That's pretty crazy.
Whoa, Nelly.
That's pretty crazy.
You guys come up with the most interesting names.
That's one way of putting it.
Yep. That's probably the way I'm going to leave it, too.
Is it Chimera? Chimera is Chimera? How do you say
Chimera,
that?
yeah.
Chimera Paints. Totally didn't realize we have 2 days left of the work week when I woke up this morning.
Do you have my Nova Orange?
I do.
Hairdo said, Jason, I've got opportunity to paint some bass, crappie, trout, swim bait lures. The lures will be clear coated with waterproof protectant at the end.
We have a lot of people that paint them with Procryl.
Everyone I see uses Wicked. I see no reason I can't use Procryl. Thoughts? There you go.
Yep.
You already answered it before I even finished. Told my boss that my goal is for everything I touch to turn to gold so that I can touch more stuff. The problem with that is now I've been assigned a huge project at a scale I've never done before, feeling overwhelmed a bit. Maybe I should unturn some stuff to gold. I'm confused.
Turn some stuff to gold, yeah.
Goal was for everything I touch to turn to gold.
That sounds like they're doing great at work.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to break this down here.
Okay.
Told my boss that my goal is for everything I touch to turn to gold, so that I can touch more stuff.
Okay.
Problem with that is now I've been assigned a huge project at a scale I've never done before. Feeling overwhelmed a bit. Maybe I should unturn stuff to gold. Is this all a metaphor, or have you really been tasked with something that you...
It's definitely not literal, I don't think. It's definitely like a
Well, I mean, obviously the turning everything to gold is not literal.
Sure, yeah.
The part I'm asking about is, have you actually been assigned with a big task, and this is just the metaphor that you're using to explain it? Right. Like T. Schmidt is saying, is this a way of saying you did too good at work, you got more responsibilities than you wanted?
That's my assumption.
Awkwardish set Chimera down with Jason and Goobertown at Nova to play Angra, and then promptly abandoned all of them to go shopping. Yes, real task, real overwhelmed. Okay, thank you. I don't know.
Bringing up all the shininess on the green here. I think that's going to be my plan for today. Try and knock out as much of this green armor as I can. Give it a little bit more definition. Punch up the brightness a little bit. Add some shadows.
Source wants to know the status of the brush-on primer.
I have a hope to see it out by Black Friday, maybe a little bit sooner. In a perfect world, when the spray primers come out, we'd be able to release it. I don't know if we're going to hit that target, though. Spray primers might hit first.
I mean, yes, technically the primer that we make can be brush-on. This is just a little bit of a different formula.
Yeah, the brush-on primer is a one-coat brush-on primer.
Yeah,
it's intended to be used as such and is formulated to be that.
Yeah.
The other one is an airbrush primer that can be brushed on. The brush-on primer is a brush-on primer that cannot be airbrushed. So
no, Source, there's no reason. You can definitely use a brush, the current primer.
You working on over there? Adding some.
a guy. It's a guy with horns.
Is that a guy or is that a goat?
It's a guy, goat, guy.
A goat guy?
It's a goat guy.
The goat man. Goat man, goat man.
Yeah, that's me. Source wants to know if it will stick better if airbrushed, the primer.
Our current primer?
Yeah.
Well, you have to apply it right, because that's a trick question, right? Will it stick better, meaning that you're not having luck with it, is what it's sounding like? It's a light polyurethane primer, meaning that you have to build up coats with it in order to get it to be durable. It will not be like a rattle can lacquer right out of the bottle. It wasn't intended to be. So build it up in layers, whether you're brushing or airbrushing, and yeah, it's super durable. I mean, you see us use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been rubbing on this area here, and I've rubbed the paint down to the primer, but it's still not down to the plastic, or the resin.
Hey, Kerwin said, I'm hoping for a future demo of metallic medium. I got it in the metallic set and don't think I'm getting it with the little I've played around with. We for sure have demoed it on past streams. That would be a little difficult to identify when, but I bet
we would probably
probably get you a demo.
I can do.
Can probably convince some baby Jay over there to give you some learning.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Let's take a look at some colorful metallics. So let me look at the question here again. So just so I make sure that I'm answering all the right questions. A. Kerwin, hoping for a future demo of metallic medium. I got it in the metallics set, and I don't think I'm getting it. The little I've played around with it. Okay, so there's definitely quite a few different ways that you can mess around with it. The core utilization is for you to mix it into other colors to make cool, colorful metallics. We make two different kinds of paints that you would realistically mix them with that will look a little different. Any of our opaque paints and then our transparents. Those will give you two different effects. I'll show you what those look like so you can get an idea of what that will do. And then I'll also show you one of the things that I like to do with it, which is to highlight our silver. It makes a nice little final pop of shine for things that we paint silver. So let me grab. What can I do here? Do I have? We'll use this guy. He's just gonna have metallic pants. or metallic shoulder pad. So I'll start with tried mixing with the titanium white on silver armor. That would work too. What'll happen is it'll
super bright.
It'll be super duper bright. It will dull some of the shine comparatively to what the silver will be. But it will make for a really nice, really shiny highlight. I will start by mixing in some jade, because that sounds cool. So, like normal, when I talk about mixes, I always do a 50-50 to start. So what you're going to see here is just a 50-50 mix of jade and metallic medium. Paint around the hat. And this will take a couple of coats to build up, because the metallic medium doesn't have any pigment in it. It's just that metallic flake. Well, it has a little bit. Does it have any pigment in it?
No, not really.
Yeah. But
It's
still,
like a very translucent platinum color.
Yeah.
So on its own, it will act as a highlight for silver, but it still will need layering up because it doesn't have a lot of opacity to it. Its real intent is what he's showing you is to be used as a mixer to turn other colors into metallics. And also as a tint for all the other metallics. You can mix it with the other metallics and lighten them up, because think of it like a white metallic almost. Not quite a white, but works as a good tint base that way.
you can definitely see the effect of that with the jade, which looks really cool. Very shiny.
Paint liquor, those are not the steps.
And I'll mix a little bit of purple.
Did you see Kerwin said I tried mixing with titanium white on silver armor?
Hmm?
And you probably don't even have to mix it with the white. It could just be a highlight for silver by itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we use it as a highlight for silver a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason why you can't mix it with white.
Yeah.
To get a white metallic, if that's what you wanted as a highlight. But realize that white is never going to show off as a metallic very well because it's so bright. The white pigment itself in our titanium white is going to be brighter than the shine of the metallic medium in most cases.
Yeah, like Sarcastic Grandpa saying, use the metallic medium with the transparents. Great way to do that.
Yeah, so this, which I'm actually going to paint over something else because it will not show up as well over black because I picked a dark color. Here we go. No. Here we go. So this is transparent purple and metallic medium. Which is super duper shiny. You'll notice the matte in the matte plus the opaque pigment really dulls down that metallic sheen. It's still there, and you can build up more layers of it to build up that shine a little bit more. Or you can use more metallic medium and have a higher concentration of that. So these are two really good ways that you can use it. And then if I were to grab our silver, paint some silver on this guy's shoulder pad here.
Nova Orange is an amazing flesh color.
I was wondering what you were using it for over there.
It's peachy enough that it really works great on skin tones.
It gives you that nice little bit of warmth. Build up another layer of this jade metallic now. But these are the fun little experiments that you can do to see what you can make all the mediums do for you. But it's definitely meant to be mixed in with the other colors that we make.
Flapjack Nickelsack, thank you for hanging out. See you next time.
Bye, Flapjack.
He did say he was using the Nova Orange for skin.
It is Nova Orange.
Yeah.
Are you mixing it with anything, or are you just using it straight?
No, straight.
Nice.
Just glazing a little bit with it. It creates a really good, as you can see, a really good mid-tone shadow for flesh. Start giving me some depth as I try to figure out what I want to do for my deepest shadow color on the skin.
So I'm using the metallic medium right on top of the silver now. This will take a couple of layers to get built up. What do you got planned tonight, Jason?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to have something planned?
Nope.
What's
curious.
tonight, baby? Is he leading me? What is this, a loaded question? Did I forget something?
Yes.
I know it's not my anniversary.
Nope.
Um,
Yeah, I'm totally asking a leading question, not just curious to see if you're doing anything fun.
no.
Like playing some random game.
My go home routine is
Dog.
just that. Very routine. I go home. I get home around any time from, what's safe to say, babe, 6 to 7.
You've been doing better.
I've been getting home earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Never later than. I mean, very, very rarely is it even 7 lately. But like last night was a little after 6, probably.
yeah, I had a late call. Little. And then I walk in, put my keys down. The dog's hanging over the back of the couch, needs a hug and a kiss. So I give the dog a hug and a kiss.
Good old dog.
And then she runs around. I go sit on the couch. She comes and plops down next to me. It is intense belly rubs, discussions about our day. And then sometimes we'll move into dinner time. Most of the time, we'll move into dinner time from that. Jen and I will eat while the dog stares at us, wishing she could eat too, even though she has a full bowl of food.
Mm-hmm. She waits to see if she's going to get anything.
She literally leaves her bowl of food alone until we're done with ours and have cleaned it up.
And then she'll go eat.
And then she goes and eats. Then Jen and I might have a discussion or two, and then Jen will turn on horrible television. Yep. Tonight is horrible television night.
Oh yeah? What's horrible television?
Big Brother.
Okay.
Right now we're in Big
that
Brother.
show's still going?
Oh yes.
80 million seasons.
Every summer for like 25 years. Yeah.
I remember
I've
when
probably watched it every year.
Oh my gosh.
Because my mom and I used to watch it. With like my whole family would watch it. And then my friends all watch it, and we have group chat, and
so it
gets a little too hardcore. I enjoy it, but like I don't really care, but I like to watch it.
Every now and then I will sit and watch the fireworks between these idiots on television.
Fireworks.
He knows
sure.
everything.
But I never last very long. Jen and I will
later.
joke about it for a minute. Then I go in my office and get on the computer. I will generally start going through social media stuff for Monument Hobbies. And then when I'm done with that, I will look at some YouTube videos. And then I will maybe play some video games. Except I don't have one I like right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that Diablo 4 was such a bust.
Ugh.
I'm not surprised that you have that feeling, though.
It shows me all the things I want to love about ARPGs. But none of them really follow through.
Jade's making dinner. Hopefully enough for everyone.
Yeah, did you make enough for us? We're hungry, too.
Papa Chicken has a question for Jason. In the past, you've shared that other paint brands are made by house paint companies that just shoot some squirts of CMYK to make the desired color. Monument Hobbies actually sources the appropriate colored artist-grade pigments. That's one reason why we're better. You also said that for Nova Orange, you were given an RGB code to match. How did that change your paint making process for that color?
That's a great question. Yeah, because they really only have their color in the digital world, right? They know their color based on what they get out of Photoshop. And so when we said, we'll do this paint with you, I need to get a sample of it. Well, they just sent me, here's the RGB code and the hex code. And so I had to work backwards from that because we don't use Pantone, RGB, hex, none of that. So I can't go scan a color. And we have a color spectrometer here. I can't go scan into the color spectrometer and get anything other than a visual. So that's what we did. We pulled up the RGB, looked at the pigment, and made a color that was, in the real world, relatively similar to what we saw on the screen, which is a dangerous proposition because your gamut on your screen and your color recognition on your screen plays a lot into that. So, of course, it won't ever be 100%, whereas somebody else might have just taken it and typed that into their machine and it would have squirted out one of usually those machines have between 8 and 16 different pigments in them that they pull down from. And all of that in the Pantone world will just automatically make the color. It's what happens at Home Depot. You just give them a color and all of those codes in like the paint chip sheets that you can get there or any house paint company. They're really great at that. And they'll match it dead on because all of those come from just a hexadecimal, code. So we have to work backwards. We're old school in that regard. I just mix pigments until I get something that looks like what I want. And I have to sometime reverse engineer it because as I'm mad scientisting, I will get to where I'm like, okay, I'm 5 pigments deep to get this color. What has been redundant? What can I reduce? How can I get it to as few pigments as possible to create this hue? And sometimes there's not a way. Sometimes the color just has all of those components to it, and so that's how you make it. And other times I'll fiddle around with it and find other mechanisms. So some colors take a lot longer as I play around with them. But by this point, it's pretty quick.
What was the longest color?
It was a recent one. It was the dark green brown for Mashik set. I think took me the better part of a day.
Yeah. Well, because
I don't usually ever have to fight with them that long, and that one was just me loving the color and not being satisfied. It was either too green, too brown. The problem with that color is that it always looked perfect wet.
Yes.
When it dried, it would always be a hair too dark, a hair too off hue, a hair too light, all that. And I was just going bananas because I didn't want to use any titanium white to lighten it or anything like that, right? And so I was moving around these pigments and finally just got crazy. And I was like, well, let's just take all the green out of it entirely and let's rely on, some yellow because the core is brown, not green. So let's rely on the brown. Let's do the yellows. Let's play around with it that way. And then I wound up getting where I needed to be, so.
Game delay, yep. The day finally arrived.
T. Schmidt says you got to get on Core Keeper because you stayed up way too late gardening. That doesn't sound fun to me at all, dude.
That sounds...
Is that like Farmville?
Kind of great.
It's like a weird do-everything game. Like you can go off and hunt some animals or do some dungeons or something, but then you go back and tend to your farm and your farmland and all that stuff. So I think they tried to build an all-comers list. Like if you like games, play this game because you can focus. I've never played it. But from what people are telling me, it sounds like, oh, you don't have to do everything. You can do the parts you like and never go do the other parts. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah. Would you
It's a Shelby game. Huh?
Would you participate if somebody were to host a Minecraft server modded, like a mod pack or something like that? So let's say like Feed the Beast.
Industrial Evolution. Yeah, like Feed the Beast with all of them.
There was actually a really cool one that Cannibalistic Zombie recommended to me while we were at Nova, which sounds cool, which is all underwater. So the whole world is underwater, which is kind of neat. I don't know if that's the one I would pick for this, but like maybe like Feed the Beast, which has like a huge amount of different mods that people can pick from. Would you participate in that if we try to get some of the crew to participate and have a Monument Hobbies Minecraft land?
The answer of whether I participate is yes. I would love to participate. Will I be continually participating? No promises.
Well, that's not a requirement either.
Yeah.
You don't,
so I don't. Yeah. I mean, I love it. Yeah. But I have Feed the Beast and all that stuff. I've got tons of those mod packs that they curate. Yeah, it's good.
I think a lot
of Latrine Digger. Yeah,
Game
Delay. Game Delay and I coined the term Latrine Digger yesterday. That's what those games are like because they're like having a job. Oh. It's like you got to just go, you're playing the game and all of a sudden you want to go do the fun thing, but it says, oh, you're dehydrated. You need to drink. And you're like, well, I don't have any drink. So I got to go do the drink. And then you got to tend to your carrots and then you got to do the job. And it just is like, I just want to go home and have fun.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to ask Gabe how Satisfactory went last night.
Well, somebody said, I thought they were saying that you did something satisfactorily.
No, there's
Mo said Satisfactory. Jason, do it.
Yeah, the Satisfactory is a game.
Yeah, so Gabe was up all night last night playing it, he said. And I like Factorio.
Yes.
And Satisfactory is born out of Factorio. It's not the same developers, but they built if it's an FPS
sort of
or third person.
I think it's third person.
Yeah.
It's first
it's using a different engine, but it's exactly Factorio in 3D as opposed to a 2D landscape for Factorio. So while I love those, I get real frustrated with them because I just want to kind of build my base and then bugs come blow part of it up and I get pissed off. I don't like turning the bugs off either because then it feels too like Minecraft on passive mode. And I do like the fact that, creepers will come out and scare the crap out of you, but
I don't know if that's a thing in Factorio. Or not in Factorio, but
pause for a minute because Source has a question that he's now had to ask twice.
Oh, all right, let's do it.
Okay, so one of you mentioned not using a brush to dust off miniatures, but use compressed air instead. Would 15 to 25 psi airbrush do the trick, or are we talking aerosol cans?
I don't know that we've ever talked about it specifically not using a brush. I think that whenever you're trying to get dust off of miniatures, you want to use something that's more like one of those big makeup dusters.
Yeah.
you know?
Something that's got like really soft bristles. Like this is actually works pretty good because it's got soft bristles on it.
You want something that's big and fluffy.
Yeah.
That can move the dust in a light manner. I mean, think about a feather duster, right? It's not like a heavy duty brush that cleans dust off your furniture because that's not how dust wants to be handled. So I think you just use a light, fluffy makeup brush or something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't use like a dry brush or a normal painting brush. It'll take forever, and it'll just dig the dust into the model. You want to use something fluffy that moves it around. I would always hit it with air, and yes, your airbrush at high PSI, whatever the highest PSI your compressor will do, 30 or 40 PSI, just blow just straight air through it to get all of the loose stuff off and to loosen everything else underneath it, and then hit it with a light brush.
Yep.
Very easy.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But the thing that I've always mentioned is you have to be careful if you have primed models, and those primed models have been sitting around and gotten dust on them, because especially if you've used rattle can primer, the rattle can primer will, with combination of the dust and the humidity and the cold to warm temperature changes throughout the year, if they've been sitting for a long time, you might find that your models are actually sticky to the touch. And that's where you have to be careful. That's depending on the level of dust we're talking. Sometimes I've had to like strip models.
Yeah.
Because that won't come off. And it will create a texture for your paint if you try to paint over it. So be careful with that. That's usually just rattle can primer, because it takes a heavier solvent-based primer that has that issue over time. You have an old makeup brush? Yeah. Demoted to duster. Works pretty well. Yeah, you just want a softer one, right? You can't unsee Pumpkin Robot.
Pumpkin Robot?
I love that it's his turban and his eyes just peek out right over his gorget.
Yeah.
It's a he.
What's that?
It's a he.
I don't know.
Him, he, male.
I think I mean it, yeah.
I thought it was female.
Something
about it looks female to me.
It
is a robot. I'm not sure.
Is it? It's a robot?
It is a robot. Yeah.
What's going on?
Game Daily say, boy, I can't think of anybody that primes a model in a fit of ambition and then ends up leaving it to sit for a month, a year, a week, or ever. I mean, I've done that a lot.
I've done that before.
If you store primed models in a dust-free environment, you still have to look out for that issue. I always recommend, if you're going to prime them, put them in like a container, right? If you're going to store them primed. Because then, if dust can't get to them, it's not an issue. But if you're like me, and they've been like on a shelf over here for a long time, and then you go to pick one up, like I buy stuff off of eBay every now and then when I get the hair to play some model in a game I know I'm not really going to be 100% committed to. And like this guy came to me and had like, look at all that dust on it, right? That's not from here. It's like, it looks like it's highlighted.
It's real shiny.
There's just
too.
dust
Why
in
is it
every
so
crevice.
shiny?
On this thing, right?
Because
you can see it here where the dust makes the shiny Chaos Black primer from GW not look shiny anymore. It's got so much dust on it on top surfaces. Yep. So, on something like that, I would hit it with the airbrush first, and then take a big soft brush like what Jordan showed you, like one of our old BABs or something like that, and then just lightly move it across the surface. This doesn't feel sticky to the touch with the dust, but it's dirty as hell, as you can see, and like even hitting it with the brush, you can see that doesn't even get the dust off of
the other thing I would recommend is when you have that brush, don't ever use it to paint with. Just that is the brush that you keep specifically for cleaning your models, and that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't get wet.
Don't ever double duty.
It doesn't. Yeah, you just that's your cleaning model brush. Your dusting brush. That's it.
Someone named Malev Flo Shinobi said, question, when is Angra's birthday and what age are they?
What?
I'm Malev.
Age of Angra. What is the age of Angra?
What?
And when is its birthday?
5,400,642.
We should fact check that with Ben. See what happens.
Ben would look at you the same way I just did.
Yeah, that's true.
Ben and I share that. It's like we're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Happy birthday then.
Today's his birthday.
It's like 3 months old, baby game.
How you doing, Malev? Hope life is treating you well.
Malev and I were listening to a podcast last night.
Oh, really?
And on YouTube, Dave Taylor's podcast. And
Oh, it was like a live thing?
yeah,
Like
he
a
does
live
it
stream?
live on YouTube, and he had Dan. Dan hates me because
Dan
his
A?
name is Bushline, and he calls himself Dan Osborne now. He changed his name, and I know him as Dan Bushline. So I'm always like Dan B, and he's like, oh, he's not Dan B anymore. But he was on there, and they were discussing Nova, and they brought up a picture of Aaron Lovejoy from Nova because Aaron taught classes there, and Malev was like, no way, dude. Aaron was at Reaper. I saw him. So I had to admit the thing that Aaron doesn't like to admit, which is that Liz carries around a cardboard cutout of him everywhere she goes so she doesn't feel lonely.
Malev is painting knights using
Ooh.
plum, dark magenta, bold, pyrrole, and red.
Nice.
Dark warm flesh. It's a good time. Tim, you'll be fine. You've made it through all the hot days so far. You can handle one more. I just know it. Faith in you. You're strong. They're very red, and the blue knights are. Oh, you meant 95 because you complain about the heat. I-95. All right. Well, you've been on that road before and you've made it through, so I know you will again. Oh no, that's right. You complain about the cold. That's right. I got it backwards. You were complaining because 75 degrees was too cold.
I will say, I do complain more about cold than I do being hot. There's something about being cold that just sucks. It's into your bones.
I'm telling you, I'm ready to sign the petition for 75 degrees all year round.
Yeah, but that's not cold. I'm also down for that, to be fair.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That way you
I
don't
would
have to
vote.
complain about either one.
Yeah, that's true.
75 is the perfect temperature.
I'd bet that there would be people who would complain that it's not hot enough.
Yeah, like Lumberjack Tim. We've seen this.
Yes. Yep.
Pain Liquor said, just finished my KDM Watcher, went to glue the magnet to the base and dropped it.
No.
Fuse knows about
Did
the traffic I'm about to hit.
survive the drop? Did you drop it onto like a pillow?
I mean, I was never
soft?
one who liked to get on the I-95 anywhere around rush hour, Tim. I would either stay at wherever I was or at home, right? Wherever I was. If I wasn't at home, I'd stay there and wait to go home, or I would stay at home.
Mm-hmm. Like me back in...
I lived right off the Kings Highway, which is like the Post Road, I-95 area right through Fairfield. So it was not an option for me because that was the major thoroughfare for me moving around my area of town. And the traffic on the city streets right around there sucked because everybody else was trying to go around the traffic on the highway, and they were in my neighborhood if they did.
Yep. I definitely remember many a year where I had like 2-hour some odd commute home, and I would just go hang out at a local game store. From like 4:30 to 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I literally just lived there.
Oh, Paint Liquor.
Good old Mox boarding house was home to Jordan for a very long time.
Hey, look what happened.
He finished, just finished
Oh no!
the KDM Watcher, went to glue the magnet to the base, dropped it, and it did not land on a pillow. It landed on the table. It was even supported with a bar and still broke, and it was the final mini.
That sucks, man.
Oh, is it fixable?
Everything's fixable.
Yeah.
Walk away from it. Take some breaths.
Take a breath.
Come back to it later.
You can always put on more layers if it's cold. If it's too hot, you just suffer.
Dark Sea Bin, again, I've been using this as kind of my cooler shadow color.
Source, you might have a point. Source told Paint Liquor you should eat less paint. Makes your hands shaky.
Good old Shannon. Out in the back. Billy Devondra.
Might be having some stream quality issues. Not too bad yet. You can fix it, just have to glue a few things and patch it up. All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just a bummer that you have to deal with that when it was basically ready to go.
Tim, your new cat drinks your paint water. Is the cat in the truck with you? That'd be fun. My uncle was a truck driver. And he always had a truck dog. Knew she had good taste when she picked me, but it was confirmed when she drank my monument paint water. Game Delay said, oh, I should use Dark Sea Ben as the shadow on my monthly challenge plaid skirt. Jason just helps me with my challenge. He feels like cheating.
Hey, Jason did not proactively offer help. If you find something out from paint work that we do on stream, that's all fair game.
Cat's at home. All right. Would you ever take her in the truck with you? Used to have a truck dog, but now we have cameras and the company doesn't allow them. Why? Companionship. Awake on the road. Although I suppose it could also jump in your lap while you're driving, which could be hazardous.
Ah! Bearing claws.
Yeah.
It's like a bug in the windshield. Cat goes bananas.
I bet that has, in fact, happened before.
Pretty sure I heard Jason say, Game Delay, use Dark Sea Ben. He heard the question in my heart.
Okay. I can't cover Jason mind melding with you from forever miles away and delivering you information. If he's sneaky enough to do that, then he can cheat. I can't call him on that.
That sounds like exactly what I'm focused on right now.
Yep.
You don't like cats?
Who doesn't like cats?
I actually don't like cats. But
Hey.
I got her since I can't have a dog, and my weeks have been lonely. Cats are... It's alright to come home to, but a dog could be better. But I'm sure a dog is very difficult with your job, I'm sure, especially if you can't take it with you. Is she like a cuddly cat, or is she a cat?
Yeah. Is it a cat or is it closer to a dog?
Yeah. Just realized something super obvious but mind-blowing. I can use a compass to find out the actual polarity of magnets. What is the thing about magnets? What even are they?
What is a magnet?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Or is it magnets? Are those even real? What is it, Jason? The thing about magnets?
What about them?
There's like that thing you say about magnets. Isn't it magnets? Like, are they even real?
Oh,
Or
magnets. How do they work?
how do they work?
Yeah,
The
what's
insane
this
clown posse.
mysterious thing?
Magnets? How do they work? I think they argue to this day that that's not what they said.
Yeah.
I promise you guys, I didn't say anything that weird.
She's cuddly sometimes. Others, she attacks my hand. So yes, she's a cat. Okay.
Yep, that's cat
I mean,
doing cat things.
That whole song was about, you know, a bunch of craziness.
That song is quite the song.
Isn't that kind of just their MO?
I don't pay any attention
No,
to those fools,
I don't either.
period.
you have to ask Kenny.
Oh. Using some brown gray to base coat all these parts that are going to be this lighter gray color. I really like this paint scheme. It's very different. Like that kind of weird color of green.
I see.
Yeah, it's impossible to know.
Actually, that's a cool thing I can explain to you. It's impossible to know.
Oh, insane clown posse. What is their drink? Fago?
Yep, sounds right.
Isn't that something from like Pennsylvania or something?
I have no idea.
It's like a strawberry soda.
Yeah.
You know, like a cheap Circle K.
Yeah, like an East, but it's like East Coast thing.
Yeah,
right?
East Coast.
Those East Coasters. Got some
Careful.
funky drinks. East Coast is such a different place to the West Coast. It's just so different.
Fago has many flavors according to Mo. Is it like Fanta? I'm guessing Fanta.
Oh, it has lots, but I think that theirs is like strawberry or something. I don't remember.
It's a Midwest thing? I'm from the
Is it?
Midwest and I've never heard of it.
Hmm. Gabe's knees again? Gabe walked into my office earlier, and his knees cracked, and I thought he stepped on something and broke it.
I hope
that was
wasn't
his knee?
I was making a joke.
Oh.
You're talking about that popping sound that just happened? Yeah. I was making a joke. But somebody was also moving, so I was like, oh, man, that's not great. But no, Gabe definitely did walk into my office earlier, and his knee cracked, and I was like, was that your knee? He was like, yeah. And I was just like, that does not sound well.
Yeah, it's not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, I was like, Gabe, no, that's not great.
James Matthias has a question. Any insight on paint sometimes spreading on a model? It happens mostly with metallics, and it looks like the paint is repelling from itself. Anything I can do, or is this just a thing that happens?
Okay, wait. Any insight on paint sometimes spreading on a model? It happens mostly with metallics, and it looks like the paint is repelling from itself? I don't understand. Is it our paint? What surface are you painting over? That's not something you should encounter. But I don't understand what repelling from itself means.
It sounds like it's beating up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Potentially.
AC Miniatures coming
What's
in with
up
a raid.
there, Aaron and Raiders?
Hello.
Hello. Good evening to you all. Well, at least those of you who are actually over in the UK, where it is in fact evening. Sounds like Aaron's turning down for the night. Like 11:15 over there.
Dark silver and satin black on gray sear. Could be your primer is an issue. Is it the base layer that's causing it to kind of beat up? Is that what it's doing? The GW primers are... They say they're matte, and they're not. They're satin. And satin, the longer you let it sit, the more problems it's going to give that top coat. So we typically say when you're using a primer that is satin to go ahead and hit it with a base coat of color where you're not worried about the look of that base coat, you know? So if you're doing satin black over it or, dark silver or something like that, go ahead and hit it with the that color as a top coat over the primer. Sounds silly, but your primer is acting more like a paint and not a primer.
Okay, he said base layer only. Once I get it on there, it works fine for extra layers. Not beating up, but it is receding.
Yeah, once you get it on there, it works fine for extra layers. Yeah, it's just the base layer, and it's the interaction with that primer, unfortunately.
Estrello saying the same. I have the same problem with satin black. When painting the rim of the base, it tends to bead a little, and I also use GW primer.
Yeah, again, it won't when you go over a matte base, right? Remember that in order for paints to really work the way they're intended to, especially ours, you need to be starting with a matte surface. Satin surfaces are not primers.
They're slick.
They're primers in the sense of painting your barbecue, but they're not primers in the sense of priming for top-coated paints. You want that tooth so that the next layer of paint has enough to grab onto to do the job. And satin paints don't provide any tooth.
Casey said, been painting all day and I'm feeling it.
So working on the Norn Emissary over there. Your Golden Demon project. Sneaky guy.
What is a good quality rattle can primer if not GW?
Any that's matte. I hate to have to say that because with a thicker paint, you're not going to see these problems because the thicker paint won't shrink on itself as much as what you're seeing with a thinner, more or less viscous paint like Procryl. Procryl has the same coverage, but we don't have to be thick to do it. So thicker paints don't have problem on GW, so they don't call it a problem with their primer. The problem is that their primer tends to sit and separate, and so if there is matting agent in it, it falls to the bottom of the can and doesn't remix. This is just a known issue with rattle cans. So if you're in the US, even the Rust-Oleum matte that is the ultra matte from the hardware store works generally pretty good. hardware stores tend to turn their stock over a lot quicker, so you don't worry as much about how long the can has been sitting. We, in what I hope is next month, are releasing our own set of 4 rattle can primers. We will have an ultra matte black, white, gray, and a matte varnish. So we're going to help solve this problem for you. We know a lot of people don't have airbrushes, don't want to airbrush, and that rattle can, provides that nice alternative. And I say alternative, it's been around longer, right? So we have a announcement to be making very soon that I think you guys will love.
Oh, you're talking about that thing?
You know the thing.
I know the thing. I saw the thing.
So got some really cool stuff happening.
That thing is pretty great.
I saw the thing. Same thing yours.
Oh, it's definitely the same thing that we're thinking of.
It's very cool. AC finally got the bottom half done. Legs are glued on. Working through the arms now.
Woo! Dang. That is a lot of work for that model. It's a cool model, though.
Is that a Games Day thing you're doing? Or you like a Golden Demon thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's for Essen. Because he gonna be there.
James said the volume of Models I Prime makes rattle cans faster than airbrush, and I look forward to your offering.
I think you're gonna be real excited.
Golden Demon 40K large for Essen.
Oh, for Essen. Jen's gonna be there.
I'm going to that.
I'm going to that.
Jen's like, I'll be there.
You will see me.
I'll get to see it in person.
And Jen.
Yeah. I'm going to a thing.
We finalized all the plans for that here recently.
Yeah. I have a ticket and everything. Well, I have a plane ticket and a hotel.
I was talking to Jen about it before stream. Jen is very excited.
I'm excited.
She should be.
I know. I was like,
I'm literally only going for like 2 days and then I'm coming right back. But whatever. It's fun.
It's going to be a cool couple of days that you're there.
Spending as much time on an airplane as I am at the actual thing.
Yeah. That's actually...
But it's okay. I'm excited.
Yeah, we won't talk about that part.
I'm looking forward to it. Every time purple isn't in the primer list is a sad time, said T. Schmidt.
Correct. Wait, what? What did I say?
Lost and Found said Tester's dull coat is nice, but it is clear. Oh, as like a matte, like a varnish?
Yeah, we've got a really good matte varnish coming.
Mm-hmm.
We based it off of Tester's dull coat.
Yep.
Except that it's in 500 milliliter cans.
Yeah, instead
as
of
opposed
like
to a little bitty,
a little
400 milliliter.
Yeah. How big were those cans? Those cans were really small.
They were like 120 or something like that.
Yeah.
4 ounce. I don't remember. The Model Master stuff was small.
They were definitely like about the same size as this. They were like a little bit taller.
They're bigger than that, yeah, but not by much. I think 120 mil sounds about right.
Yeah.
Games Played Poorly said one of the perks P3 is talking about with their paints is a long blending time on the model. Is it really that different than other paints on the market?
I mean, ours has a very long blending time.
Yeah.
So no.
That was...
I hate to bag on competitors. We like Steam Forged. But there's nothing magic about what comes out of HMG, the company that makes that paint. Again, just another coatings company doing stuff. They can put more glycol in it. Two Thing Coats did the same thing. Also made by the same company. So, you can do it. We have a longer open time. We were the first that really did that with liquid acrylics. That's what kind of made ours feel like you got better blending out of it. But we don't do it in the just add more petroleum products way that a lot of our competitors do, which makes the paint on its own feel a little weird and wonky. That creaminess that people talk about is not what you want in a paint that paints on 3D surfaces, my opinion. That's why Pro Acryl is a little more fluid.
AC, have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks for
Aaron, you outta here?
dropping off your group of nerds.
See you, bud. Talk to you soon. See you at the show.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
It most certainly is.
Crazy.
Okay, I love this name. Bibbly Bobbly Betty.
Bibbly Bobbly Betty?
Yeah,
Oh.
Bibbly Bobbly Betty. Said, we have the best bottles.
Well, thank you.
First time
Thank
chat.
you.
It's funny
to tell
because the
us.
vocal minority says we have the worst bottles, and we're always in that battle with people like, hey, if you get used to them, you're really going to dig them. They actually seal. Nobody else's bottles actually seal. We want you to be able to use your paint years from now.
People are a little stubborn sometimes. With
Yes.
their
I was stubborn
bottles.
with them too, though, so
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah. But that's why it's, you've got the experience. A lot of people do. A lot of people have been won over by the bottles.
It's a good product.
We've had people who've been like, hey, I changed all of the caps and then I don't like them and I want my old caps back, but I threw them away. We don't sell them.
Can I buy more from you
So
guys?
they want to buy the regular caps. Yep, that's the goal. They don't clog. They're easy to shake. They don't fit in this. That's true. They don't fit in. They are a little bit fatter than a lot of other.
People are just, people get used to what they're used to,
Oh, for sure.
And I get it. I was the same way. Before we made Pro Curl, remember, I'm just a nerd like you guys. I've used all the same products you've used.
Mm-hmm.
And painted with them for years and years and years. And at the end of the day, it took a lot of fighting. I was an old dog with no new tricks. And now I love them because there's just much less paint loss.
Squeeze out slightly less paint than I want. Close the lid. Wipe the rest on the palette. Yep. That's it. Something profit.
But yeah, there's...
Look at that. People forget about the crap they deal with daily with regular droppers and complain that they have to wipe off the top on Pro Acrylic. Exactly. Gosu said, Jason, I've been using some Pro Acryl gloss varnish on an oil paint canvas I just finished for a friend of mine, and it's looking great.
Awesome.
Cool. Oldest paints are drying in the tips, but they're also almost empty after 5 years of painting. Yeah. Hobbyist said, great stuff.
Thank you.
They're both pretty decent painters.
Pretty decent.
They're
painters.
okay.
We don't suck.
They don't suck.
We've got knowledge to share.
We stand behind the fact that we are still one of the very few paints that is actually designed, maintained by painters.
Yep.
True.
Not just designed and handed to a coatings company to make our paint for us, meaning that we've picked our colors. And again, I will bag on people a little bit because the industry is so set on, yeah, we make paint. It's like, you choose colors. And we make paint. Yes, we have a partner lab that does all the clean work stuff, so we don't have to wear respirators and grind pigment here, but we make paint. We do it the old school way. We do it like fine art colors, which is why all of our colors act the way you want them to.
Yep, a little swoosh on the palette after you close the top.
All you
Panic
need.
Bomb said never once had to poke out a blockage in the tip.
Yeah, that's
True.
true.
That's the main thing right
I've been
there.
using Pro Curl for a very
I have
long
to
time.
admit, I left one of my pale yellows open for, I don't know, maybe I went away or I didn't paint for a long time with pale yellow. And when I picked up the pale yellow and the top was open, I was like, oh, crap. So I shut the cap, shook it up, paint was fine, shook it up, went to squeeze it out, and it wouldn't come out. I was like, oh, crap. So I pulled the nozzle off because if you don't know, right, if you ever need to service our paints, you can simply,
Won't have to
when
do
you
this
screw
too
the
often,
nozzle
but it is
all the way to
possible.
the top, then you just pull it and it'll pop, and you'll see the actual nozzle, and in between each of those triangles is a hole that paint comes out. And the pale yellow had dried or congealed to a point where actually the paint was still usable. I stuck my brush through it and put the blob on the paint and then just thinned it out. It was still usable. But, yeah, you won't have a problem beyond that. Just don't leave your paint undone, right? You're fine.
Games Played Poorly, I want to do this. Games Played Poorly said, I've been toying with the idea of buying a thrift store painting and putting something fun into it like Godzilla.
TIE
or
fighters.
something." Yep. So the question is, will acrylic paint cover and set up on an old oil paint?
Yeah, 100%. Now, there's the chance. Anything that you buy from starving artists, old oil paints or things like that, are typically going to be lower level oils, and they probably will have cured by the time you pick up the painting. Not a problem. I would suggest before you do that you go through and do like a clear coat over the top just to verify. You might pick like a small corner of the painting or something and do like a matte varnish over the top of it and just to make sure it's sealed and that you give yourself a good base. There could be impurities on those old paintings, dust, oils, could be in a smoker's house, things like that make your paint act weird. Mm-hmm. So just giving it a good seal coat first is always your best bet. And then you'll notice, right? If the seal coat starts to either show little bubbles in it or crack, then the oil is not cured, and you've got like a painting that's not truly like old. Might have been done within.
It'd be great for doing that. What? By the way, Jason?
What?
A new matte varnish.
Oh, a new matte varnish that we're coming out with.
From yours truly. Might be great for doing that.
Might be great for doing that. I'm not saying, but
yeah, not sure.
Not saying, but I'm saying
that I would say it, but I'm saying it.
Yeah, not.
Game Delay said, 2 thin coats is how I dress for the winter.
Yep.
Citadel is what I call my row of boxes that keeps the rabbit out of my workspace. I don't get that one. Pro Acryl is my paint.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Game Delay.
Oh, we like that. We're big fans. Competitive marketplace. Everybody can make paints. Only a select few can do it in a way that makes sense to everybody.
And Jason is a mad scientist.
Proof is in the pudding.
Well, we love what we do. Hope that that's reflected in our products and in our customer service and our shipping, all the things.
Turns out, we love and appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be here without amazing people buying all the products that we make.
Mo said, so does that mean we will have an airbrush matte varnish and a rattle can version?
Yeah. Yepers, I should have good information for you on the airbrush as well coming up pretty soon. I mean, all this stuff is going to drop within like the brush primers people have been asking about, the spray primers, rattle can primers, the airbrush matte varnish. All of that is going to be kind of, in sequence with one another and should give us a lot of fun stuff to talk about as we get through the end of the year.
Game Really said he literally has a low row of boxes to keep the bunny from chewing on my hobby supplies. So the Citadel meaning like your soldiers? Is that what that means?
That was like a couch fort he was building at home.
What proof is in the pudding? I don't know. It's what Gosu said?
It's
blue.
It's a phrase.
Read it. Yeah. Gosu said the proof is in the pudding. Because we demonstrate stuff that we make. You can see it live here on stream.
I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing that I can just go, when I'm talking to somebody about what makes Pro Acryl awesome, I can literally go, I've talked to you about all these cool things. Here you go. You tell me. And then they try it and they go, this is amazing.
Right.
My job's so easy. I like hand paint to people and say, hey, try it. You're going to love it. And then they go, okay, I'll try it. And they're like, this is amazing. Why haven't I bought this yet? I'm like, I don't know.
We were very lucky. We were able to do something different.
Yeah.
I have to admit, and I've said it out loud on podcasts where people have asked me, we went to the exact same company that makes P3 and 2 thin coats and all that. Yep. Right? We went to them. We spoke to them on the phone. We spoke to a company in the Netherlands that makes other people's paints, right? All these coating companies. We got on phone calls and talked with them for a long time. We couldn't afford to do business with them.
Yeah, they made it real.
Jen and I worked out of our house. We had no investors, no money. We had a stream where we taught people how to paint. You guys loved us, and we had a wish and a prayer. And we got very lucky. We were able to make an acquaintance with a absolutely amazing gentleman and his team. I say his team. It's really just a guy. Mm-hmm. And who was
Here's the
excited
team
about the
now.
prospect of trying something he had never done. And took my crazy ideas and his knowledge and said, let's make something cool work.
Make some cool stuff.
And he has a team now, but back then he was like us. Just start now. Wild Tomato said, will the matte varnish be available in an airbrushable form soon after the rattle can release?
So we've had the matte varnish since the gloss varnish, but we ran into a problem with high humidity instances where you were spraying at particular pressures and it's satining out. Like I could sit here and spray in the same day and get a very matte finish, and then later in the day, Jordan would get a satin finish. And so it made us not comfortable with it. We couldn't pinpoint where it was. We knew we needed to add more matting agent to it, but at some point, if you've ever messed with any of the competitors' ultra matte, super matte varnishes, the problem with them is the longer they sit, the more they separate, the harder it is to get them to go back together and mix. Yep. Because you can get to a level of having too much matte varnish and an imbalance in the chemical properties of the mixture so that it won't reconstitute very easily. And so we're always fighting that. I want ultra matte, right? I want it to go through the airbrush nice and clean. I don't want it to congeal, and I don't want it to turn satin on you and all those things. And that's very difficult to make happen. So we've been working on it. We've been slower than we wanted to on it because we've had a lot of other releases that took precedence in between there. But yeah, the long of it is that, you know, we hope that somewhere very close to, if not right on target with the release of those that we have, the airbrush one too. Well, it's not going to be on target, but it'll be shortly after.
What proof is the pudding as an alcohol content? There's no alcohol. That's Jell-O. In relation to absolutely nothing we're talking about here, I'm happy to announce that my dog has finally caught her sky raisin.
Her sky raisin? Oh my gosh. Is that a fly?
Yeah.
Fly. Sky raisins.
Right out of the
I love
air.
that it sounds so painful as they nip at it. Like, I'm like, Cora, you're going to like bite your tongue off, you know?
She's like, no, Dad, I'm fine.
Go Sue. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because we bottled it.
We did.
We have thousands of bottles of matte varnish that we've had to just throw away. It's a shame. Like, it breaks my heart. It's one of the only times that's ever happened to us, where we were like ready to release, and Jordan was just painting on stream one day. We had already gone through testing, had solidified it.
Yeah,
you had seen me use it live
Yeah.
on stream a bunch of times, and it was fantastic. And one day, live on stream, he's over there going, oh, I'm just going to finish this up and use some of our matte varnish. And he's like, Jason? And we literally stopped the presses. They may have even been filling it that day, and we have buckets and buckets and buckets of bottles back there that are just garbage. We have to throw them away. So it breaks my heart because I hate that. I hate messing up, but we got to do it. We couldn't sell it. We didn't sell a single bottle, so crazy.
Songster, great name, said, I'm glad I got rated into your channel. My painting seasons come and go, so there's a certain expense on starting all over if the paints have gone cold. Your stuff could be like liquid money for my scenario.
There you go.
It lasts.
It does.
Go see you're here. Yep.
I got in the house on one of my breaks on stream, and she'd been chasing him down for like 2 hours. She'll have a nice sleep tonight. It's a high humidity dweller. I appreciate the dedication to excellence.
Yeah, because there's always, you know, anytime you're using a matte varnish, there's always going to be an issue. There is no perfection. So if you're, you know, if it's raining outside and you don't have adequate air conditioning to dry that out inside the house and you spray a matte varnish, you've all messed with it. You've probably done like rattle can varnishes and had them frost up, right? That stuff is caused by nature, and there's nothing you can do chemically to avoid it. So there is a little bit of user responsibility when doing a varnish at all times. Test it first before you put it on your completed painted surface, because it's one of the scariest things to do is use a varnish at the end of the project as a seal coat, because your project's done. You put all that love into it, and now I'm just going to go burp, 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 burp. I did it to my trolls. My trolls with, oh my God, I had to use one of our competitors' matte varnish out of a rattle can because it was all I had at the house. And I was going to a tournament, and I spray painted my trolls for War Machine, I hit like one unit of champs, and they frosted immediately. No. And I stopped, and I got my toothbrush out immediately, and I started cleaning them off, and I got most of it. So I felt lucky, but holy heck, man! I had to wipe them off and then gloss varnish them and then matte them down again. So it was a terror for me. So yeah, so I don't want to sell it if I feel like it's going to make it harder for you than it should be. And airbrush is a lot easier for that. It's not as susceptible as rattle cans are.
Mo still has some of the 17 mil first gen paints. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Those
I got to
bottles
see.
Yeah, same cap style, just smaller
they
bottle.
were a little different. I know that some of those are probably getting a little bit thick.
Yeah, it's funny. I got to see
Wizard's butt varnish. You never know what you're gonna get.
It's
Just
its
label
own
it
thing.
as
my
its surprise
gosh.
varnish.
Wizard's butt does not. No,
Is it satin? Is it
doesn't-
matte?
Doesn't share its name.
That's terrifying, Jason.
What? I didn't. They did it. Spatsnat said it.
Avian, hello.
Don't give him ideas, chat. He's got plenty of those himself. He doesn't need extra craziness going on. Like Wizard's butt varnish.
Hey, don't be mean to me.
I'm not being mean to you.
I
I'm being mean to chat.
think beige red kind of takes me into no man's land with the being a little too desaturated.
Oh, on top of that,
Maybe I use
like advanced flush tone. It might be a little dark yet.
no. Keep picking up beige red because I don't have tan flesh. Where's my tan flesh?
I don't know. If you need one, here you go.
He's handing me mine because I don't have mine.
I don't think so.
It's probably staring right at me, but I haven't used this paint in forever, so I don't think so.
Let me look briefly at your.
No, this is mine.
It's not. I don't have another one over here. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna find it in like 30 seconds.
Could be. That could also be.
That happened the last time you were like, you stole one of my paints. I'm like, Jason, it's there on your desk. Third bottle in from the right.
That could also be true.
That did happen.
Yes, that could also be true. I may not actually want that color anyway. Yeah, I think I want warm flush. Well, I'd always try to get it to mix back up. Although I have had problems with that in the past. We used to sell it on the store back before we made our own paint, and it would separate in the time it took to sell it, which was a shame.
Will we get amusing shake ads when the spray cans are ready to go out?
What's that?
Avian wants to know if we're going to get any amusing shake ads when the spray cans are ready to go out, like about shaking the, like, are we going to make ads about shaking the primer, the spray cans?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like yes.
I mean, I'll put it this way. You know how we like to make ads. So
we're not doing those.
Even if it's not specifically about shake weighting a bottle of primer.
Oh my god, the shake weight. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, which would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
We will definitely make something that's funny.
Dude, we're doing it. We're doing the South Park episode.
Shake weighting.
No.
Shake weighting a bottle.
We're doing the shake
I was
weight.
trying to get
The
my
South Park
exercise.
episode where you shake up your paint and it spits a little change out. It puts out a little bit of change
Oh god.
there at the end. Oh, darling, I love you so. Here's cab fare.
Put Baby J in a massage chair.
Oh gosh.
Huh?
Baby J in a massage chair.
I'm
Please
in.
use a shake weight. I don't know if I still have that one.
I'm on board for whatever silly plans we come up with. But y'all better bet that it's going to be funny. Because we don't do normal, not silly ads around here.
You could have just stopped right there.
What?
We don't do normal.
Yeah.
It's also true. What do you mean though? We're normal. We're like the most normal people on the planet, Jason.
That's what weird people say, Jordan.
Have you seen the rest of the planet?
You do have a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do have a point with that one.
Yep.
That's hard to argue right now.
Yeah. Yep. I think we're probably pretty normal in the grand scheme of things. Jen's like, I don't know if I agree with that. How about this? Jen. She doesn't have as crazy as she's not as crazy as we are, I think, maybe.
What? Oh, sorry. Was that my outside voice?
Whoa. Awkwardish has blue text? What?
Ooh.
What have you done? I'm so confused. Why is it blue?
That's gotta be some change.
It's italicized.
Oh, it is over there.
Over
but
there.
It's blue over here.
Yeah. That's weird.
Mm.
I've literally never seen that before. Arizona normal. Yeah, guys. It's 115 degrees outside. This is totally normal. It's fine. Dongster, I'll definitely check them out. Being afraid of paint drying up on me really raises the bar to even check the paints. It's so sad to admit that I just wasted, say, hundreds of euros. Shouldn't be like with... What? It shouldn't be like with a thing you really like doing, but might stash for a year or two when life acts up.
Yeah. When you have paints and you can't use them all the time, right? When you invest in a hobby, you want your hobby to be available when you need it to be. So with paints, you got to be careful. Part of that is storage too, though. Make sure you store them at room temperature. Don't put them out in the garage. No matter what brand it is, you can help yourself out a lot by storing them properly.
And Dogster, where are you? Where do you reside? Because we have game stores all around the world. You mentioned euros, so I assume you are not in the U.S.
I'm gonna laugh when they're from like Kentucky or something. They're like, yeah, just I do all my.
But
math
buys things in euros.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty Kentucky.
See, like I said, Jason, we are normal. Okay, we are normal.
It seems like Kentucky. I know.
Check that link. I don't know if we have any stores actually right in Finland, but PK Pro in Germany is our main EU distributor, so they're always a good choice. Mm-hmm. Taking them once every 3 months doesn't hurt. Yeah. You don't have a lot of time to paint. Take an hour for a few months and just shake your paints up.
Yep, you can get some exercise. Shake weight your paints. What a silly machine.
The shake weight?
Yeah. It's so silly. Like how did anybody think that was a great idea?
Well, the science behind it is good.
Sure. Yeah.
I wonder if it was really meant to be
What's
a
that?
joke. I wonder if it was a joke, really. And someone's like, oh, but it could actually work.
I guarantee that whoever came up with it, once they got into the marketing, was like, this is brilliant. Like, they'd sit around like we do and go, oh, yeah, we have to find a way to make that work. Like, this is going to be brilliant. People are not going to believe it, That's what I want to believe about stuff like the shake weight all the time.
I need a shake weight documentary. Give us the inside scoop on the birth of the shake weight.
You're embarrassed by the amount of exercise you get from shaking your pain game delay? It's less embarrassing than not ever exercising.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed to go to the largest miniature game store in Finland, only to find it not have any Pro Grill.
Let them know that they need to be carrying
There
it.
you go, Dongster. That's your task.
Yep. Yeah, this is your task if you choose to accept it. Yeah, just let them know. Say, hey, there's this awesome product that you guys should be carrying. And it's called Pro Krill. And it will make me very happy.
Paint liquor, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Paint liquor at it again. Man, I gotta talk about how weird it's gonna be for you to be out of the office for like a long
Jason's
time.
leaving us for a really long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I hope you have fun.
I don't think in the history of the company I have been gone that long ever. Maybe back when I had to drive to Adepticon.
Maybe.
Because it would take about
Yes,
that long.
That's true. That actually would end up being like 2 weeks.
What about the Adepticon? Oh, we were back for a couple of days in between.
Yeah, before we had to go like WonderCon and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
We were back for like 2 days, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, doesn't quite count.
Make sure he brings back gifts from his travels. He never brings gifts from his travels.
What's that?
You never bring back gifts from your travels. We never get
No.
souvenirs.
I travel light, man. I ain't got time for gifts. I bring back good stories.
James Matthias said, every time I try a new brand of paint, I end up back with Pro Acryl as it just does what I need and want it to do on models. I use some other paints to fill color gaps, but always strive to color match. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank
That's
you.
why we built
appreciate
it.
That.
I like
should
bright,
start
shiny
now.
stuff too, but you know, there is a truth be told why a lot of companies have been in the art supply business for a long time because they just make the right, good product. Don't mess with a good thing, in our opinion.
You did hear that, Wild Tomato. So Jason is going to next week? It is next week. Next
week,
Thursday.
the 19th.
Yeah, he's going to Texas.
I have to go to Dallas for the Champions Cup. It's the Frontline Gaming Champions Cup. It's a big 8-man team world champion tournament for 40K. We're sponsoring that. And so I'll be there for that weekend, hanging out, being the paint competition judge. It's an interesting painting tournament because it's all based around your team score, no individual scoring. So the teams have to hold each other, or all the members in the team have to hold each other accountable for meeting the rubric, which I think is really cool.
That's really interesting.
And then from there,
Then I go to Denver
he's going to Denver.
for a business conference.
Yeah. And I don't think he'll have time for souvenir shopping in either location.
Nor would anybody want
And I
souvenirs.
certainly don't want airport gifts.
Airport trinkets from Dallas, like a big
I don't
Tex
need
hat.
any airport trinkets. I don't need
Or a Dallas Cowboy
snow
bobblehead.
globe or a Denver magnet. I don't need any of those things.
It's okay. We can find cool stuff while we're in Germany.
I can get like a battery-powered light-up devil horse from the DIA airport.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna be gone for like
Yeah, it's gonna be
from
weird.
Thursday to like a full week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday to the following Monday.
Well, but see, Avian, sure, there might be good food in Dallas, but after Dallas, he goes to Denver, and then he would come back, and if he gave me the food from Dallas, I would probably die. So, we don't want that.
I like Jen.
It's gonna be a weird couple of weeks.
We realized that he gets home, and then I, like, 2 days later, I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see
because
here.
I'll get back, and then Jen will leave for Germany,
Tomorrow's normal.
and then you're gone Thursday and Friday. No, you're gone.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're gone Friday. You both are gone Friday.
Yeah.
We're both gone Friday.
And then I'm gone Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday we're normal, and then you're gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Botrioidis01 said, how about a new watch from the Rolex store at the airport? That I would take. That's an airport gift I would take.
That's a great gift.
I'll just carry. So we took Jen to look at we were in the mall and the Rolex store, big watch store is there. And we went in just as you do and looked, and she found a Rolex she really liked that had like
that one's really pretty.
had like mother of pearl
Mother of
face
pearl.
and like
Oh, geez.
diamond chips at all the hands and all that. And just for shits and giggles, excuse my French, we were like, so what is something like that? It was like $65,000.
He's like, oh yeah, and he puts on gloves and he pulls it out and he puts it on my wrist, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's gorgeous. And then there had a tag on it. And
It had the dangle tag on it.
We need to take that off right now.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to
my
touch this.
That was,
Yeah, I need to stop touching this thing.
She's like, I don't want to touch
it
this.
cost more than I made in my last year of teaching.
Yeah,
So,
after
like,
she had built her whole
more
career
than
of teaching
the
up.
entire career of teaching,
It's
and I
insane.
still didn't make as much as that watch cost in a year.
I actually really like your watch.
Don't
It's a nice watch.
ask him. about his watch.
Never mind then.
You were close. What's that?
Never mind then.
What?
She was like, don't ask him about it. I was like, okay. Never mind.
What did Houdini say?
I'm
I'm here all week.
here all week.
Try the fish.
Oh, I don't know. First word.
Mhm.
Dallas. Houdini 7 maybe is in Dallas. I don't know. Oh, are you talking about you're going to be same place that or you're here all week even though we're not?
Oh,
Maybe
I'm here all week.
We're going.
I don't know what your
Yeah.
problem is.
You're saying who is here and who is not.
He's like, I'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere.
as weird as it's going to be, somebody will still generally be here for the entire time that we're gone.
Probably, yeah.
Because when we're gone,
Yeah, because
Jason will
not
be
you
here.
two.
Yeah. And then when he's not here, I'm here.
There are agitators already in the bottle dumpster.
Yep.
A nice big fat glass one.
Soda glass agitators. No rust, no chemical. They're completely 100% chemically inert. Never do anything to your paint at all other than mix it up better.
Yep.
Wad said, I wasn't here yesterday or Monday. Did anyone even notice? We miss you every day, dude. As a matter of fact, as soon as the stream ends, Baby J goes back in his office, and I swear it's maybe he makes it 5 or 10 minutes before he starts whimpering in there, and I'm like, what is the problem today? He's like, I miss one automaton.
I miss one tomato, and I don't call him automaton unless he did something bad.
It's annoying, Wad. Annoying. I need you to get your fingers out of this guy. That sounded odd.
I'm sorry, what?
That sounded odd.
$65,000 dinosaur watch. Rolex just tells the time. Dino watch is better than Rolex every day and twice on Monday. I didn't get a Rolex.
Dino watch greater than you. There's a Dino watch at 65 grand.
I mean, the Rolex was 60.
I mean, you can get a lot of really nice watches for really not expensive prices. There are a lot of really nice watches out there.
The main partner is building a house. The interior decorators offered to put together a furniture package. He looked at the rug, saw $13,000, and unchecked that box. It's crazy how expensive rugs are. I did not know this until
When we moved into our,
shopping.
well, I think it was before we moved into the new house. Did we buy the rug? No, we bought the rug when we bought the new house.
No, we bought the one that we have now at the old house.
At the old house.
But then we bought the dining room one at the new house.
Yeah. And we go to look at rugs. Jen's all excited, like house shopping, buying stuff, and I'm like, "Are you prepared for this?" Start looking at the price tags, and she was like,
Because the cool ones are super expensive.
"Yeah," and because of our layout of our house, all of our rugs have to be 9 by 12 or bigger,
Big, yeah.
right? And when you start getting the 9 by 12 rugs, no matter if you're buying them from Wish.com or from the fancy rug place,
They're
the
very
price
expensive.
is exorbitantly higher than the smaller rug. If you're in the 5 by 8 rug range, it's all gravy.
You're like, I spend like $50 to $100 on a
Yeah,
rug.
50 to 100 bucks, I
Great.
get a nice rug. I'm gonna love it for years.
Yeah.
You get to 9 by 12, and all of a sudden, $3,000.
You're like,
What?
what on earth?
Say what?
Why is that? What is it that
the amount of I mean, you got to think about the amount of fabric and time and machinery to go to that scale is just tremendous.
Yeah.
Right?
I was curious if it was anything else other.
You love
that.
Mr. Tomato Man, though? Who doesn't?
Yeah, Wad Tomato's great.
Yeah, why do you think the dude was so insistent on getting his rug back? Exactly. Nobody understands that. That's why that is such an important undercurrent in that entire movie.
I'm going to be honest. These rug cleaning videos, though, that they got on...
Don't tell me you sit and watch those.
I do.
Oh, my God.
Really satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
I found that, and that's one of those TikTok phenomena that I don't understand. I'm like...
It's that, like...
I'm like, okay, number one, if you look at those rugs when they sit them down, the ones that they shoot in those videos, I have a hard time believing that they don't pre-gross them up.
Oh, they definitely do. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't care that they pre-gross them up.
Okay.
It's still cool to see.
Exactly. Half of those, 100% of those rugs are dirtied for the video.
Correct.
Right?
But it's still cool to see. You're like, man, this rug is nasty.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I wonder what this is going to look like when it's done. And
his house is on a mountain. Nice. He's going to have people up there coming in from skiing and mountain biking, and no, he's not putting $13,000 rug in there. You had a lunch meeting at a resort with a $100,000 carpet under the dining table. You did not order spaghetti. Oh, I'd have been rubbing my feet on it.
You had a lunch meeting at a resort?
Eric Moreno says, "Hey, Jason, thank you for making the best paint on earth, and your Aux products are even better. Thank you." Number one, thanks for taking the time just to tell us. That's awesome. You know, we love that you guys are just as crazy as we are and like our products. Because we're just you. We're just nerds painting
it's true.
Little models.
It's very true.
And I literally, this entire business is just me making stuff I want to use. Because I've been frustrated for 45 years painting with other people's stuff. And so I was like, I just want something that works. So let's just make a paint that works so that all my minuscule brain has to worry about is grab the color I want and all the colors work the same. I'm like, I don't have to learn anything. You get used to one color, you know them all immediately. That's what we do. So thank you for being just as lazy and crazy as I am. Gosu, you may be a little crazy. I might give you that.
You are kind of crazy, though.
Eric says if I drink it in the next Adepticon. Oh, well, I mean...
All right, then.
I mean, free drinks.
Spearhead terrain built. Let's go.
Spearhead is the AOS.
It's the mini AOS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Combat Patrol.
Yes.
Yeah. So it has predefined lists, though. You can't go build outside the list, though, right?
It's really annoying,
yeah, it's garbage.
I am thinking about doing a kill team.
Houdini says, tell the truth, you just wanted paints that tasted good. I can't say that live.
Hey, what do we talk about?
Jordan will tell Jen.
Yes, I will.
He'll tattletale.
What,
First time on the live stream, but loving the channel content and the paints. I'm close to owning the whole collection. Mickey King, thank you so much.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. I love it. New people, first timers, fans. We love you guys. Seriously, we just paint with our stuff. It's like, we put it to the test every day. When we get people that want to know how to do stuff, we show you. And it's like, whatever. Question on the gloss varnish. I understand it can be used as a medium. Sure. What thinning ratio would you recommend to make a satin through the airbrush? You search the channel. So with gloss varnish, we discuss paint and finish in terms of levels of gloss. Satin is a range of gloss that if we call 0 gloss ultra matte, our paints are like a 2 or a 3, which is still ultra matte, right? 0 is like light doesn't reflect off of it. It goes into the void of chaos and is never to be seen again. We're like in the 2-3 range with our paints. Satin is going to be kind of that 5-6 range, and then gloss is going to be where you're in like 9-10. If we want to keep the scale in a very easy readable state. So if you think of it in those terms, then if we start at like a 3 and you want a little bit of satin, so you want like our satin paints are really more of a 4 or 5. They're not quite super satin. They're not going to get you into that 6-7 range. Then you can do 1-to-1 gloss to matte and see how you like it. So starting with kind of a 50-50 mix. I think what most people are going to consider good for painting is going to be more of a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 paint to varnish. because the varnish is going to have a pretty big impact on a matte paint. You're going to see it quicker. So play around with it. There is no right or wrong. It's really just going to be how do you like it in the end. But I always, in that regard, would say add less varnish before you start to spray it. So that if you don't want to go overly gloss, get a base coat on there or get that spot on there that you're trying to paint, evaluate it, and then if you need to up the varnish in it, put another drop in, mix it up, and then hit that spot again. It's going to be easier to build up with it as you're testing. But a good test surface will get it there really quick. Can you publish mix ratios to recreate historic colors with your paints? That would be a huge project. The answer is I would rather make a military line of colors. And that is on my plate of design things I need to be working on, but it's a ways out. But with our yellow ochre, black brown, Payne's gray, the umbers, the camo greens, the yellow greens, the faded green, those colors will get you everything you need in a military space where you're doing something that isn't like Air Force grays and things. If you're doing land-based military, then those will take you quite a way. Burnt red, red oxide, those things. If you're doing like German military with the red primered tanks in the late war, things like that. And you can visualize it pretty easy with them. Those colors were made with an eye for my military scale modeling background, but we're not going to call them like, IDF, green 286 or whatever. Modern military would be great. Unfortunately, Vector will be doing historic military from the World War II, possibly a couple of colors from like the Korean War era. Those cover the basis for what I think most people are going to want. You get into a really mixed bag there because you could start getting into like, hey, I need that burgundy that they used in this particular uniform for the hussars in like the 1800s, and I'm like, no.
Don't want to have 2 million colors of it.
No. I just have never been that person that cares to match the color exactly because we really don't have any surviving versions of those colors, so you can just make it close. And we have enough of a color palette to do so. The idea of the mixes is great. It would just take a tremendous amount of time, so we'd have to find that block of time to make it to where I could figure it out. Because I feel like if you want to mix to know how to get to a specific military color, you're probably not going to want to just have me go, oh, that looks like yellow ochre mixed with black brown, 2-to-1. You're probably going to want me to spend time figuring it out first. I love the idea, though. I just need another 24 hours in my day. All right. Jen has thrown up those links.
She's done no such thing.
I have gracefully placed them in chat.
Yes.
She has eloquently placed them in chat.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you are here from a raid, also thank you for hanging out with us and enjoying
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, thanks for enjoying our particular kind of crazy. We like sharing it with the world, and turns out some of you guys are also just as crazy as we are, and love hanging out with us.
Oh, they all are.
they all
100%.
are.
100%. That one guy, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
There.
Not him.
In the back corner. We're not clear.
You.
You seem to be. You got your faculties together a little bit better than the rest of us. But the rest of us, we're all going down together. This asylum was built for people like us.
Very mindful.
Place them very mindfully, very demurely. Oh.
Thank you guys, everybody that showed up here. Please hit that follow button. Vince Venturella Metallics range. I mean, have you been talking to people? Thank you, though. Hit that follow button. We'd love to see you back here. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona. We'd love for you to check out some of the links that Jen put in the chat there. The Monument Hobbies store will link you off to all of our good protocol colors. The FLGS link will take you right to the store locator where you can see if there's a local provider close to you. We'd love for you to support your local game stores. They do all the hard work.
If you are international, be sure to check that store locator.
Yes, all available all over the world.
Don't pay the crazy shipping from the
And then last but not least, make sure you join the Discord. We've got closing in on 5,000 amazing artists just like you guys out there, and a great place to get inspiration, hang out, meet new friends, friends, talk about what food you just ate, show off your pets, tell bad fart jokes. It's a great place. So come join us there. Stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid so you can get some more hobby goodness as you go off into your evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Have a great night, nerds.
Bye. Everyone.